So if you know my channel at all, you probably already know what the best, tightest Spongebob parody is already, but that's kind of irrelevant to the discussion right now. I don't know about anyone else, but I think I watched more of these like Spongebob parodies and YouTube poops than I did the actual cartoon. I don't have much attachment to the series in the modern day. I think I've just basically grown out of it, but I still discuss some of the golden age Spongebob moments with a couple IRL friends. But that's not what the video is about. So I went through YouTube and tried to see all the stupid parodies from like 12 years ago I could find, and the results were, they existed. There was like this weed stoner marijuana parody that had like 3 episodes in like 2013 or something. I don't know, I don't want to research it. I don't really like it. It just makes me uncomfortable, and I don't get any of the weed humor.
Yeah! Screw him!
I'm not really going to be focusing on this one because it's not great, but it's also kind of just very normal for a parody back in the day, so it doesn't stand out as much as the others. Okay, wait, hang on. Does anyone remember that one time in Yo Mama when the SpongeBob smoked weed?
Not my weed!
There was this one around the 2010s, and it actually aged pretty well. It's made by Ryan Higa. That's how you know it's a hood classic, but it's also just terrifying because it's like annoying orange, and it's just... This is one of my most visceral fears of all time, just looking at stuff like this. I kind of like when this happens though. And then there was this one about SpongeBob in China that I never actually watched, and I'm not gonna start now because we've already been doing this for too long. Here's the thumbnail. But with all that out of the way, it's time to get to the real meat and potato of what I was actually wanting to talk about and what I actually know about, because I binged this whole thing that I'm just about to bring up. SpongeBob SquarePrez lasted from 2007 to 2012, and it was on this site called thismightbefunny.com, which I'm not going to click because that's probably a virus or just straight up dead. All you really need to know is that this is a political comedy that just basically makes fun of George Bush and any other president or candidate at the time. Of course, I don't really know enough about this because back around the 2007 era, I was kind of shitting myself, and also, I'm not even American, so... But just, like, watch this for a couple seconds.
Hey fellas, I'm looking for a sperm whale.
He said sperm.
I did not have sex with that whale.
Right, and I won Florida fair and square.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, Vice President Cheney.
What is this?
Okay, you kind of get the point now. Aside from the silly use of political humor, there's also a lot of botched line delivery and just weird editing.
Barack Obama.
Goddamn America.
What the hell was that?
Even for the time, this is kind of amateurish. I get the feeling that whoever created this really didn't care about this all that much and kind of just wanted to make fun of a new candidate, which kind of based, but also just, why? Why SpongeBob specifically? So now what do? I'm not really qualified to talk about the president humor. I don't really care much. Although I guess I can talk about one thing, is the completely random guest stars of all these people that were just relevant at the time.
Thank you, Mr. SquarePrez.
So I guess the tired routine is these people just show up, say stupid shit, and then get shot by Dick Cheney. Or Anton Chigurh for some reason. I was not expecting this series, of all things, to mention Kino.
You need to call it. I can't call it for you. Well, it wouldn't be fair.
I didn't put nothing up.
Yes, you did. You've been putting it up your whole life.
I guess of all the episodes, I like the Christmas ones the most because of their absolute absurdity and just how strange and unexpected the guest stars are. Like, could you predict this?
Hey George, this should be my room.
Dickie, time to lock and load. I'm not sure what's more surprising, that Santa Claus turned out to be a Democrat or that Al Gore could fit into a Prius.
South Park guy is my favorite guest star in Santa Claus.
It scared the emojis out of me.
But there's not much outside of these, so I'm just going to name off a couple of guest stars that showed up in these 2 episodes. Aside from the previously mentioned Emoji Guy and Bob Saget, there was also a Stingray and then some pregnant lady from Nickelodeon in the first one. For some reason, this second one has the tuna guy from Food Fight, I think? He's supposed to be a mascot, but I'll never not see him as the dude from the front of Food Fight.
Jerry Seinfeld.
Hey, Mr. Sponge Bush.
Nothing in my life could prepare me for this moment.
Lindsay Lohan. What the hell happened to that innocent, fresh face?
I grew up.
Well, please grow down.
I didn't live through Lindsay Lohan, so I can't really say much about this, but I do know that she kind of inspired my favorite character in television, so I'm guessing some pretty bad shit happened to her. But I just want to leave this one blank. I don't really feel good about this part. I don't want to mess with my image of Katie Mean Girls, so sorry if I'm being, like, disrespectful to someone that Hollywood probably fucked up, but I don't know. I want to research this later. Can I go home now? And then there were these, like, 2 last episodes about Bumcrackle Kringle's election around 2012 and 2008. I really don't care about these ones. These are just fucking boring and unfunny, like the rest of this series, but this is, like, exceptionally nothing at all.
That's right, fella. Be patient. And while you're waiting, here's a cigar to help celebrate your win.
Why is the cigar already moist?
Oops. There's really nothing left here. Like, how have I been talking about this for this long? This has been nothing but, like, bad, poorly timed political jokes and weird celebrity non sequiturs.
Hey, Barakalaka. People seem to like you when my approval ratings are lower than Vern Troyer's toilet seats. Hey! Look at Jessica Biel.
Hey, wait a minute. Isn't that Mr. Peanut Butter's ex-wife? Damn. 2 sad horse references in one video. I'm on a roll with this. Me waking up at 7 a.m. after getting 4 hours of sleep to watch Spongebob Square Prez. And then the last episode is completely pointless and nothing else happens after this. This is basically just about Mitt Romney versus Obama. But I liked this version way more because it had this in it.
Yeah, well, you're stupid. You're stupid.
We haven't gotten another Spongebush video in like 10 years, and also we haven't seen another like video from Tom Video in general in like 5 years. Life can suck at times. I hope some of this makes you laugh. No! Admittedly, while I didn't really like any of this, I guess there were a few parts that did make me laugh out of just knee-jerk reaction, like the Jerry Seinfeld MS Paint moment. But looking back, I feel kinda sad looking into this. It doesn't even have that much nostalgia value behind it. It's just an old political comedy that no one can really find all that funny. It doesn't even look like the creators, whoever they might be, really enjoyed themselves or cared much for this. I guess it was nice to look back at old YouTube, but this still really doesn't even feel like old YouTube if you were to ask me. It's not good. It doesn't even work. I guess the only real plus is that this is a very short series, only a couple minutes per episode, and 8 episodes in total, and it's completely free. It'll probably be archived on YouTube forever, but this got me thinking about Patrick's new show. This spin-off is so bleak. It never felt SpongeBob, no matter how much I watched it. And I just look at this and see another Spongebush Square Prez, in the making, on public television for children, and it just feels bleak. I don't even have much connection to SpongeBob, and I miss him. I miss him more every single day. Steven Hillenburg was gone way too soon, and the executives won't even let the show rest with him. SpongeBob is nothing but a brand now. Despite the lack of monetization in Spongebush, I can't help but feel like these are 2 sides of the same coin. Just in different ways, really. Maybe I'm looking like way too into this and these aren't really comparable at all, but this is what I consider the monkey's paw of publicity. It feels like these spin-offs are basically just a dark version of all these old parodies from a bygone era. What I thought was just going to be a simple nostalgia trip was just me really getting out the corkboard and red strings. But every time I look at SpongeBob now, I'm terrified. I have no sponge, and I must bob.